at Sioux City broadcasting on channel 4 or 162.475 megahertz. KWN47 at Storm Lake broadcasting on channel 3 or 162.450 megahertz. KZZ51 at Carroll broadcasting on channel 2 or 162.425 megahertz. And KZZ52 at Hancock broadcasting on channel 6 or 162.525 megahertz. We apologize for this interruption and will have service restored as soon as possible. The Des Moines, Iowa climate summary for this evening, as of 5:20 p.m., March 4th, 2022. Today's high temperature was 53 degrees. The normal high is 43. The record high is 76 degrees, which was set in 1921. Today's low temperature was 26 degrees. The normal low is 25. The record low is -9 degrees, which was set in 1978. No precipitation fell today, which leaves the monthly total at a trace. This is 0.24 inches below the normal amount of 0.24 inches for March. The total precipitation for the year still stands at 1.66 inches, which is 1.00 inches below normal. No snow fell today, which brings the monthly total to a trace. The total snowfall since July 1st still stands at 25.8 inches. There were 25 heating degree days today, which is 6 below normal. This brings the monthly total to 84, which is 43 below normal. The yearly total since July 1st is 4,576, which is 344 below normal. Today the maximum wind observed was 21 miles an hour from the southeast. The highest wind gust observed was 27 miles per hour from the southeast. Today the average wind speed was 12 miles per hour. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 44 degrees, and the normal low is 25. The record high for tomorrow is 74, which occurred in 2009, and the record low is -15, which occurred in 1960. Sunset tonight is at 6:09 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:43 a.m. This is NOAA All Hazards Weather Radio Station WXL57 at Des Moines, Iowa, transmitting on 162.55 megahertz. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service at Des Moines, Iowa. The current time is 7:03 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for Des Moines and surrounding locations. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers until midnight, then a chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Breezy. Low in the mid-40s. Southeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts up to 35 miles an hour, decreasing to 25 miles an hour after midnight. Chance of precipitation 50%. Saturday, mostly cloudy. A chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers and a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Breezy.
Alrighty guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful night tonight. We have a bit to talk about today because we have a lot of new information, and honestly things have gotten worse. I hate to say it, but we might be dealing with another potential situation here. So, like I said guys, obviously welcome. Hope you guys are doing good here. I was just looking at the Storm Prediction Center, and we have severe weather over the next 3 days. So tomorrow, we have the start of the severe weather, kind of for the early portions. So for tomorrow, this is for Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we are expecting severe weather. And I hate to say it, but honestly, all types of severe weather is forecast to occur. Because we are expecting, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds, unfortunately, to be a concern here. But for the people who are just now joining us, welcome. Hope you all are having a wonderful night. Hope you guys have been staying safe here. So I guess we're going to go ahead and dive right on into it. So what we have been seeing here on the models has honestly really shown itself pretty well. We'll go ahead and switch on over to this now. And my camera's off. That's a great way to start the stream. Let me go ahead and see if I can get this up for you guys. I know exactly why it's off too. So let me go ahead and fix this for y'all real quick. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, for some reason it was one that glitched up. There we go. So what's going on, you guys? I hope you guys are doing good here. I should probably lower my chair a little bit. because I was out of frame there for a second. Let's go see. Jenny says hello. Andy says, what's up? What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you all are doing good. And now, like I said, what we were looking on the radar view is really starting to play out here. Look at all of the snow shower activity here across the western country. We're actually looking. I really need to update this again. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and update the banner here whenever we go on break here. Trying to think, though, because that's still a little bit of ways. I might go ahead and just remove this for this live stream because, you know, it's not really correct. That's the thing here. Here, let me go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this for you guys because I don't want to spread any false information because this is probably updated here because the last time we did the live stream was 2 days ago. So I just want to go ahead and do that. But like I said, we are currently seeing a lot of this moisture across the west. We're seeing a lot of, you know, a lot of heavy snow that's actually going on here across some of those upper elevations. I mean, California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, it's Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. We're seeing a lot of heavy snowfall from some of these showers that we are seeing. Then we move a little bit to the east here. Now, you might notice we do have a bit of shower activity going on across bits of eastern Nebraska, basically western side of Missouri, as well as southwestern Iowa. We actually are seeing a decent amount of shower activity that is currently going on here across the region. And across the east, you know, it's relatively clear for the most part. Now, we're going to go ahead and take this a step further. I want to introduce models, and there we go. There goes the first one of the day. There we go. It's official. The first one of the day. My camera decides to cut out. You know what's really kind of crazy is the fact whenever we did our 12-hour stream or 13-hour stream, my camera did not cut out at one time. And the fact that it now cuts out is kind of surprising, honestly. Considering it literally went that whole entire duration without cutting out at all, which is, you know, honestly kind of strange how that works. I have to use my phone here for right now because my tablet, I didn't charge it and it's dead. It's currently booting up now. So that is what we are looking at here. So yeah, I have to use my phone here for a second. My neighbor's pine tree is still standing, but the ground moves when it bends in the wind. I think big enough wind will knock it down. So Andy, we will look at the winds here in 1 second in regard to things here. So we'll look at that here in a second. I just want to go ahead and go over timing in regard to what we can expect here around, you know, what we can expect, what time, and whenever everything goes to hit impact here. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to our main screen. Let me go ahead and remove this thing again because, you know, like I said, this is not up to date. But we are taking a look here at the future radar view in regard to your NAM 3-kilometer models in regard to things. So we're going to take a look at this in regard to what we can expect and when can we expect these storms to fire off here. Because we are expecting, like I said, three severe threats. You know, large hail, tornadoes, and unfortunately damaging winds as well. So we're going to go ahead and track down here in time. So if you guys do want to follow the time here, it is right here in the upper right-hand corner. So it's currently 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. This is in Eastern Time. I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that because we're tracking this in Central Time, but this is an hour behind here. So we have all the snow shower activity across bits of the upper elevations here on the western coast. We will have a new area of low pressure start to develop here relatively soon across bits of the Central Plains. So we'll kind of kick off here for early morning here tomorrow. So in about 12 hours, we'll have a pretty strong area of low pressure starting to kick off here. Now this will deliver some heavy snow and ice as well. This has been in the models here for the last several days here. So that is what we are doing here. Let's go see. Jenny says, let's get the 600 subs. Yeah, for real. We're getting close, guys. We're at 524 here. Jonathan says, good evening. What's up, Jonathan? Welcome to the live stream here. Andy says, I should get Weather Bell. You know, honestly, I do plan on getting the Weather Bell eventually. I would like to. I really do like that. I really do like that page, but, you know, right now we just have what we got. You know, that's all, you know, at least we have the information available to us here. So we're going to go ahead and, we're going to go ahead and start to see this cold front really starting to develop here. We'll even zoom in here locally just to kind of show you guys what's going on here across bits of the Midwest. Look at this. We're going to start to see this very, very strong cold front drive its way here, starting off across bits of eastern Nebraska into western Iowa. You know, linear event we're talking here. Maybe the potential of, some of those severe thunderstorms really starting to kind of kick off here, maybe for around 4, 5 o'clock tomorrow here. It could honestly get pretty bad here. You know, just a little bit further north, you know, not too much further north, we are actually seeing some heavy snow across bits of South Dakota and Nebraska, as well as a lot of heavy ice driving its way here across bits of central and southern bits of Minnesota here. And eventually this will all track its way here to the northeast, driving that cold front down here across bits of Illinois as well as bits of Missouri as well. So we are going to see, this cold front really advance its way here to the east, and then eventually kind of pick up once again as a new area of low pressure will develop across bits of, it kind of looks like across bits of eastern Oklahoma. We'll go ahead and switch on over to the southern plains here for a second. So we're going to have two basically rounds of the system. We're going to have the first one that's going to drive its way to the east across bits of the Midwest, and then we're going to have the secondary system kind of tracking its way here across the southeast. So like I said, we are expecting severe weather to occur over the next 3 days. It is definitely going to be a concern here. So that is what we are seeing here. Will's Wire Brother says, howdy, what's up, dude? Welcome to live stream. Hope you're doing good. Hope y'all are doing good here. Andy says, how bad it is if 950 millibar low pressure system, how bad would the wind speed that produce? That's a really good question. So essentially, based off of 950 millibars, that's equivalent, pressure-wise to a Category 3 hurricane. I believe a Category 3 hurricane. So, Category 3 hurricanes produce in excess of, I believe, 105 miles per hour, in excess of that. So, just imagine that. Some of those gusts maybe getting up to 110, 120 miles per hour. But this does vary because, you got to think here. Tropical systems on the land, if you had a low pressure system that strong on land, there's obviously a lot more obstacles that the wind has to flow through, like mountain ranges and buildings and stuff, which kind of cuts down the winds a little bit. Now you got to think on the coastlines and out in the ocean, it's flat. This is what we call sea level, basically just a flat layer of water. And there's no peaks, there's no elevations, and winds are free to flow very, very straightly. But once they go on land, there's a bit more obstacles which it has to kind of produce through, which does ultimately lead to those lower wind speeds on land. So in terms of those pressure systems on land and in water, there is a pretty big difference. But still, regardless, a 950 millibar low is actually quite strong, both in the ocean and on the continent. So that is what we are looking at here. What's up, James? March Madness looks like it's going to be a very big pattern change by mid-month. A very cold Arctic air is possible. East Coast snowstorms down the road. At the rate we're going, I would not be surprised if that actually does play out here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch on over here to my tablet because reason I have my tablet here so that I can actually do your guys' comments. But like I said, my battery died on it and I forgot to charge it. So let me go ahead and pull up your guys' chat here because I'm sure you all have a lot of questions to come here. Like I said, we are expecting a lot of severe weather kind of kicking off here. So here we go. So I now have your chats up here on my tablet like I usually do. So that is what we are dealing with here back in terms of timing. Now I want to go ahead and go back over this one more time for the people who are just now joining here. I want to go ahead and go over what we are expecting in regard to timing and what we can overall expect of the system. So obviously what we were seeing here, basically across the western country, you might notice all of this white going on here across the western country. This is all snow showers across a lot of those upper elevations here of the Rockies. Now, if you transition over here to our future radar, we see all of that moisture in effect here across the west. This is actually currently ongoing here at the moment. So we can say that this is starting off to a pretty good sign here. So if we do track down here in time, all of this moisture will track its way here to the east, driving some heavier snowfall. A new area of low pressure, basically the main driver of this system, will develop here across bits of Kansas. It looks like kind of across western Kansas, really starting to drive up here a lot of that moisture, starting to draw in some heavy snow here, across the west, pulling in all that moisture from those upper elevations here, and starting to track its way into bits of the central and northern plains, areas such as Nebraska, bits of South Dakota, and eventually into bits of Minnesota. You're going to probably see some heavy snow out of this as this thing does progress its way here to the northeast. Now, there will be two parts of the system. I'm going to go ahead and explain to this real quick. So we had this area of low pressure that is tracking its way from the central plains up to the northeast. A new cold front will develop across bits of eastern Nebraska into western Iowa here, driving potential of some severe weather here. Like I said, this does unfortunately include large hail, damaging winds, as well as, I hate to say it, a few tornadoes can be possible here. And all this will track its way here to the east, bringing a severe threat with it. We'll take a look at the overall severe threat here in 1 second. And then basically what's going to happen is this cold front is going to continue to progress its way down, but kind of fade out as this area of low pressure really tracks its way up here to the northeast. And like I said, we are expecting maybe some heavy ice across to Minnesota into Wisconsin, kind of across the afternoon, evening hours here for tomorrow. across the regions there. So like I said, time frame. For central portions of the country, we're going to have this new area of low pressure develop here kind of across the early morning hours. There goes my camera again. Then we do track down here further to the northeast, and we actually will see, this track its way up here with it as well. So let me go ahead and reset my camera because it loves to glitch a lot. So if you guys are just now joining us, this is a ongoing thing. This is not anything new in regard to my channel here. We always see this camera go out. I don't know what is going on with it. Sometimes it goes out, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of surprising. It's kind of weird how it does that. Like I said, on a 13-hour live stream we did, covering the last severe weather outbreak we had, it didn't cut out once. And then now look at it. We've only been live here for, 17 minutes or so, and it's already been cutting out. It's already the second time it cuts out. Kind of crazy. But Sana says, welcome. Let's go and see here. Sana says, anything coming up for Broken Arrow, Oklahoma? That's a good question. We'll get to that more here in 1 second. So like I said, there is 2 waves of the system. The first one will, start off across bits of the Central Plains into bits of the Upper Midwest, driving some heavy ice and snow for the northern sector, and some severe weather across bits of Iowa. Now you can see this cold front from this thin little line. This will kind of start to fade out here, but we will have another area of low pressure, you can see right here, develop across bits of the lower portions of the Midwest. Now this actually might cause this other cold front to develop, kind of picking up where the other one left off, continue to drive all that severe weather here across the southeast. There goes my camera again. Oh, that's the best one yet. I think that's the best one yet, guys. Look at that. 2 times in like what? I want to say like 3 minutes or so. Man, that thing's been cutting out a lot lately. I don't know if it's camera issue. I don't know if it's a software issue or whatnot. But that's definitely the best one yet. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that. I'm saving this, and I'm sure a lot of people have already done the same as well. Considering that our server and our Discord server has in the photos section a lot of my camera mishaps, but it is what it is. Honestly, as annoying as it can be, it is kind of funny, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's what we are seeing here. Andy says the strongest low ever was 870 millibars. I believe that was Typhoon Tip. If I believe that's right. Yeah, 870. That is a pretty strong area of low pressure for sure. So that's what we're looking at. I'm gonna go ahead and move on over here to the forecast models, like the overall view here in terms of things. I did not forget about USANA. I will look at that here in 1 second, as we're about to discuss here right now. So we're gonna go ahead and switch on over here to the United States view. This is what we are expecting. So right now we're having basically all this advection going on here. Basically all of this warm air from the Gulf of Mexico will drive its way up here to the north. As we will actually see, all this warm air will drive its way into the country. We'll start to get that interaction between that cold air, because like I said, that area of low pressure is going to start to develop right here, across bits of the Central Plains here, driving that cold air behind it. Obviously, the further you go up north, the more colder it is. And the opposite down south, so all this warm air, moisture-filled, evaporated from the Gulf of Mexico, because you got to think, it's full of water, it evaporates. All the moisture drives its way inland here, across bits of the north. And this will start to interact with that colder, drier air here across bits of the Central Plains. Now, there is what we call a cap that's in effect here for the beginning. Basically, to explain this as simple as I can here, basically thunderstorms, they rise, right? I'm sure you've seen those clouds before, those cumulonimbus towers rise. So this is basically energy pushing down on the atmosphere. So anything that's trying to rise, it'll hit some force and it'll actually push it down. So this will honestly prevent thunderstorms from forming. But this cap is expected to break here. Kind of across bits of the afternoon, evening hours here for tomorrow. Instability starting to kind of kick in across bits of central and eastern portion here of Kansas, and through bits of western Iowa. I mean, look at this. We're seeing instability much, much, much more higher. Some areas here almost near 1,500 joules per kilogram here. That is what we're talking about. Almost 1,500 joules per kilogram of instability. That is a lot of energy. Okay, just to give you guys a reference, thunderstorms can pop off at around 300. Over 1,000 is kind of the ballpark zone for severe weather, and we're seeing over that, with near over 1,500 joules per kilogram. This is a significant uptrend in compared to what we did see last time we did our live stream here, the day before yesterday. So there is a pretty decent uptrend in this, showing that there is more energy in the atmosphere, which might allow for more violent storms to kick off. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take a sounding here across bits of the western side here of Iowa, just to kind of get a sample of the atmosphere, what we're looking. Now, you guys are probably about to see something kind of scary here. I don't expect you to know what all this means here. But I'm going to kind of explain it for what it is. and based off of what I can see here. So based off of what I'm seeing here from this, basically we're just going to be paying attention to the upper left-hand quarter. Basically this right here, this is the graph we're paying attention to. So the red line right here, the red line is your your outside temperature. This is the upper portion of the atmosphere. This is the lower portion of the atmosphere. So you can kind of see as you go up in elevation, obviously things do change. So basically what we are seeing is we have all of this air here between your red line and your dotted blue line. This is all instability. This is all energy that is required for thunderstorms to kick off here. And that is kind of what we are seeing here. You know, honestly, we are kind of seeing a lot of instability here. Let's go see Dark Rose subscribe. Thank you so much, Dark Rose. Greatly appreciated. You're the best. I really do appreciate that. But like I said, you know, this is what we are seeing here. Do I think Western New York will have wind warning or wind advisory? Andy, like I said, we'll get to that more here in a second. Right now, I want to discuss the overall view of the severe weather. We'll get to your local view here in a second. But that is what we are seeing here. So we have enough instability in the atmosphere, and there is a bit of turn in wind direction here. You can kind of see these little barbs right here. These are what we call wind barbs. Here at the surface, like I was saying, we have those winds blowing to the north. And as we go up in the atmosphere, they actually start to move their way to the northeast. So we are seeing a bit of wind direction change as we go up in the atmosphere, which basically allows for spin to kick off, which ultimately allows for the possibility of tornadoes to become a concern here. So, you know, also hail. We have a relatively dry atmosphere across the mid-levels, which does support hail. You know, tornadoes being a possibility as well. And our decay, basically our downdraft energy, like I said, I don't expect you guys to know what all this means, but this is basically showing your damaging wind potential. And what I'm seeing here from these valleys is, honestly, we could see some damaging winds in excess of 60 mile per hour being possible. So like I said, triple threat. Tornadoes being a concern, hail and damaging winds all being a concern for this event here. So that is what we are expecting out of this system. So guys, stay safe. Make sure you let anyone, you know, if you guys know anyone who's going to be affected by this, do me a favor, make sure you let them know about it. Just give them a heads up so that they are prepared for it and they know what to do in case of the worst case scenario does happen here. So then we do track down here in time. All this instability will shift its way here to the east here. You know, start to drive in a lot more of that instability across the region. You know, even just showing its way into bits of the Ohio Valley here. We could see storms as high north as bits of Wisconsin, according to this, into bits of Michigan as well. You know, honestly, we are seeing enough potential here of maybe some severe thunderstorms. You know, across bits of Wisconsin. I mean, you gotta think, it's still wintertime, and we're seeing severe storms all the way up this north. It's kind of crazy, honestly. So then, like I said, as that cold front does kind of fade out here, we will get that secondary area of low pressure that will develop kind of across bits of the Midwest, driving the severe weather here. You can see that cold front driving its way through the region across the southeast. All that instability is in place here, and this will bring the severe threat with it. So like I said, there's two different waves of this. There is the first low, which will track kind of like this. I'm going to kind of show you from what we're talking about. So our first area of low pressure will kind of track something like this, and our second one will kind of track its way like that, so a little bit further south, but bringing that overall severe threat further south with it. Popcorn says hello. What's up, Popcorn? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here tonight. So that is what we are seeing, guys. You know, we are actually seeing the potential of severe weather here. Now, I want to go ahead and go on over to the Storm Prediction Center for you guys, because like I said, there is a bit of things we do need to discuss here. And here's where the big picture comes in. Now, guys, if you guys know anyone in these areas that we're about to discuss, do me a favor. Let them know that they are inside of this threat. Because like I said, we are expecting 3 days of severe weather coming up here. Okay? I just want you guys to be safe. That's obviously our main concern here. So we're going to go ahead and move on over here to our Day 2 convective outlook. This is your thunderstorm forecast here for tomorrow. So, for the 5th. And we are seeing a threat for severe weather. Now, you see three shades here. You see this light green, you see a dark green, and a yellow. So the yellow is the greatest area we are expecting for severe weather to occur. Severe threat level 2 out of 5. Okay, you can imagine a scale from 2 out of 5. It's decent. It's decently up there. So this does include bits of southwestern portion of Wisconsin, southeastern bits of Minnesota, pretty much the majority here of Iowa, northern portion of Missouri, as well as eastern Nebraska. This is where we are very confident, severe threat level 2 out of 5 across the yellow. And we'll get to that. We'll break this down here in a second. Then we have that severe threat level 1 out of 5 across the green. Lower probability, but the same potential is there. And then we do have this even larger, light green. This is not expected to be severe, but it is showing a possibility of thunderstorms, but not expected to reach that severe criteria here. So all of our eyes are right here on the dark green and especially the yellow. Now this can be upgraded. Theoretically, this could be upgraded here, especially with the latest trends we've been seeing in the models. There is a lot of support that honestly we could see maybe an update. So this does include Omaha, bits of Nebraska, the Des Moines area here in Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Davenport, Iowa as well, and Rochester, Rochester here. What is that, Minnesota? Or, yeah, I believe so. Minnesota here. I think high wind warning, 25 to 35 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Andy, we'll get to that more here in 1 second. So that is what we are talking about, guys. Then we move on to the next day. Like I said, a cold front moves, shifts its way down to the south. Now we have the greater threat here across the south. This does include bits of southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Texas, bits of Arkansas, southern Missouri, western portion of Tennessee here. We actually are seeing this slight risk area here. This does include Memphis, Tennessee here. So this does include Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, and North Little Rock. So all those areas here in the yellow are in effect here for that severe threat level 2 out of 5, which is showing the potential we could see some pretty nasty weather in regard to things here. And we have that larger marginal risk that stretches out. Then we move on to Monday. There's another risk. This is equivalent to another slight risk here across bits of the east. So as this cold front does track its way here to the east here, the severe threat will along with it. This does include Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Birmingham, Jackson, and Huntsville. So all of you guys should definitely monitor this. This does cover a relatively large area here. I'm just going to kind of draw a rough estimate. Oh, obviously I could have drawn that a little bit better here. Kind of around in these areas here, we need to monitor over the next little bit because these are the areas here we are expecting the possibility to see some severe weather here. And like I said, all threats are in play here. So we're going to go ahead and work our way back here to the Day 2 convective outlook here. So in terms of tornadoes, we have a decent chance here. We have a 5% chance, of seeing tornadoes. Every single 25 miles, you have a 5% chance of seeing tornadoes across the area here in the dark brown. And then a little bit lower chance, but same potential is there. 2% chance, lower probability, but same thing is there. Then for hail and damaging winds, we have a 15% chance. Same thing. Winds could get over 60 mile per hour wind gusts, as well as hail could potentially get over 1 inch in diameter and greater. And then we do have basically our Day 3 outlook here. It doesn't really break it down, but it does say a few tornadoes along with damaging winds may occur. So once again, tornadoes are at play. 0 general thunderstorms. Yep, marginal. 1, 2 slight, 3 enhanced, 4 moderate, 5 high. Yep, that is what we are seeing, guys. So we're going to go ahead, guys, and we're going to go ahead and go on break here for 1 second. So, guys, stay tuned here because we will be back here at around 8:40, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. If you guys are just now joining us, obviously welcome. Hope you guys are doing good here. And if you have any questions, I'll still be active in chat for you guys 100% of the way. But, guys, we'll be back here momentarily. If you guys do want to support the channel, like I said, our link is in the description. It'll help us out greatly. Like I said, we will be doing a live stream tomorrow on this event when it does break out. We're kind of talking early afternoon, so we'll be live then. Not sure exactly what time, but maybe around 3-ish. This is not for sure, but we're probably gonna go live. Usually probably whenever I just start to see those thunderstorms pop off. I think that'll be a good bet. So which is expected across afternoon tomorrow. So that is what we are seeing, guys. We'll be back here momentarily. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. I do appreciate all of your guys' support. You guys are the best. We'll be back here in a few moments, so hang tight.
Winnebago County Emergency Management, and the Webster County Board of Supervisors. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of central Iowa. For tonight, showers and non-severe thunderstorms are expected tonight. And now the extended outlook for the period Saturday through Thursday. A few strong storms with hail are possible around midday Saturday. The highest risk for severe weather will be Saturday mid and late afternoon into early Saturday evening. Damaging wind gusts, tornadoes, and hail will be possible during this time frame. Rainfall from the Saturday storms will run off into area rivers and cause within bank rises. Where river ice remains, particularly over northern Iowa, it is possible ice jams could develop and cause localized flooding. As the storms depart Saturday night, winds from the northwest will quicken with gusts in excess of 35 miles per hour. A wintry mix and snow is possible Sunday night into Monday. At least minor snow accumulations are possible in parts of the state. Spotter information statement. Spotters may be needed Saturday afternoon and early evening. NOAA Weather Radio WNG 668 at Denison is off the air. The NOAA Weather Radio transmitter WNG 668 at Denison, Iowa is off the air due to a communications or hardware failure. Technicians have been notified, but there is no estimated restore time. The Denison NOAA Weather Radio broadcasts on Channel 7, or a frequency of 162.550 megahertz, and services the following counties in Iowa: Carroll, Crawford, Ida, Monona, Sac, and Shelby. Neighboring transmitters that service some of these counties include WXL 62 at Sioux City broadcasting on Channel 4 or 162.475 megahertz. KWN 47 at Storm Lake broadcasting on Channel 3 or 162.450 megahertz. KZZ 51 at Carroll broadcasting on Channel 2 or 162.425 megahertz. And KZZ 52 at Hancock broadcasting on Channel 6 or 162.525 megahertz. We apologize for this interruption and will have service restored as soon as possible. The Des Moines, Iowa climate summary for this evening, as of 5:20 p.m., March 4, 2022. Today's high temperature was 53 degrees. The normal high is 43. The record high is 76 degrees, which was set in 1921. Today's low temperature was 26 degrees. The normal low is 25. The record low is -9 degrees, which was set in 1978. No precipitation fell today, which leaves the monthly total at a trace. This is 0.24 inches below the normal amount of 0.24 inches for March. The total precipitation for the year still stands at 1.66 inches, which is 1.00 inches below normal. No snow fell today, which brings the monthly total to a trace. The total snowfall since July 1st still stands at 25.8 inches. There were 25 heating degree days today, which is 6 below normal. This brings the monthly total to 84, which is 43 below normal. The yearly total since July 1st is 4,576, which is 344 below normal. Today the maximum wind observed was 21 miles an hour from the southeast. The highest wind gust observed was 27 miles per hour from the southeast. Today the average wind speed was 12 miles per hour. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 44 degrees, and the normal low is 25. The record high for tomorrow is 74, which occurred in 2009, and the record low is -15, which occurred in 1960. Sunset tonight is at 6:09 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:43 a.m. This is NOAA All Hazards Weather Radio Station WXL 57 at Des Moines, Iowa, transmitting on 162.55 megahertz. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service at Des Moines, Iowa. The current time is 7:34 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for Des Moines and surrounding locations. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers until midnight, then a chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Breezy. Low in the mid-40s. Southeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts up to 35 miles an hour, decreasing to 25 miles an hour after midnight. Chance of precipitation 50%. Saturday, mostly cloudy. A chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers and a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Breezy. High in the mid-60s. South wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation 90%. Saturday night, partly cloudy early in the evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. A 50% chance of thunderstorms until midnight. Breezy, colder. Low in the upper 20s. West wind 15 to 25 miles an hour with gusts to around 40 miles an hour. Sunday, mostly sunny. much colder. High in the lower 40s. Northwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 25 miles an hour. Sunday night, mostly cloudy. Rain and snow likely until midnight, then snow likely possibly mixed with freezing rain after midnight. A light glazing expected. Low in the mid-20s. North wind 5 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation 70%. Monday, mostly cloudy. A chance of snow in the morning, then a slight chance of rain and snow in the afternoon. High in the mid-30s. Chance of precipitation 50%. Monday night, mostly clear. Low around 20. Tuesday, sunny. High in the mid-40s. Tuesday night, mostly clear. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday, mostly sunny. High in the upper 40s. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of rain and snow until midnight, then a slight chance of snow after midnight. Low in the upper 20s. Chance of precipitation 20%. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow possibly mixed with rain. High in the lower 40s. Thursday night, mostly cloudy. A chance of snow possibly mixed with rain until midnight, then a chance of snow after midnight. Breezy, colder. Low 10 to 15. Chance of precipitation 50%. Friday, partly sunny with a 40% chance of snow. Breezy, colder. High in the mid-20s. Again, the forecast for Des Moines and surrounding locations for tonight, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers until midnight, then a chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Breezy. Low in the mid-40s. Southeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts up to 35 miles an hour decreasing to 25 miles an hour after midnight. Chance of precipitation 50%. These are the 7 p.m. conditions for the Des Moines area. At the Des Moines airport, it was cloudy. The temperature was 47 degrees Fahrenheit, or 8 degrees Celsius, the dew point 34, and the relative humidity 60%. The wind was southeast at 15 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.89 inches and falling. Looking around the area, across central Iowa, temperatures were between 40 and 45 degrees. At Newton, it was clear. It was mostly cloudy at Boone, Ames, and Encanay. At Marshalltown, it was cloudy. At Perry, it was fair. Here are some conditions elsewhere in Iowa. At Omaha Council Bluffs, rain was falling with a temperature of 62. It was mostly cloudy with a temperature of 36 at Mason City, 41 at the Quad Cities, 45 at Ottumwa, and 54 at Lamoni. It was cloudy with a temperature of 43 at Spencer, 39 at Waterloo, and 56 at Sioux City. Now for a few weather conditions around the region. At Kansas City, it was cloudy.
Alrighty, guys, we are back. What is going on, you guys? I hope y'all are doing good here. Let's go ahead and see. Here. Lava says, "Wait, how did you risk it worse?" I looked at models and it looked the same from Saturday. So, Lava, honestly, there has been an uptrend here in instability. I don't know if you've seen that or not. Also, the expansion of where all of this instability, all this unstable air is going to track into. So we are expecting it to drive a little bit more to the northeast. This does include bits of Wisconsin, bits of Michigan as well, covering throughout a lot of the Ohio Valley. There is a possibility of severe weather. And the latest models, some of these models have been supporting of over 1,000 joules per kilogram of instability. We're talking over, potentially over 1,500, to be honest, which is honestly quite surprising. That is a lot of instability. Definitely allowed to get the job done here. This is just east of that air low pressure, which will definitely, ramp up all that, wind shear as well, which ultimately might lead to severe weather. Like I said, all different types. Large hail, damaging winds, as well as some tornadoes might be a concern here. So that is our major concern here. We'll go back into models here in 1 second. But obviously, guys, I hope y'all are doing good. Hope you guys are staying safe here. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. I'm definitely here for you guys. So I did see that Jenny says, so no more snow for Virginia. Honestly, Jenny, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I would say it's unlikely at this point. Considering, you know, we're just now starting to move our way into spring. You know, it's already meteorological spring, but the season is still winter, of course. But as we are seeing here. What's up, Matt? Welcome to live stream. He says, hey, what did I miss? You know, Matt, you didn't really miss on much. We just went over the, you know, the current, you know, expectancies with the system here. We'll go back over that here right now. So we're going to go ahead and switch right on over here to the radar view in regard to what's currently kicking off here across the nation. And we're already starting to see what we saw in the models just a few days ago really starting to kind of kick off here in real time. It's kind of cool to see what is actually happening here. We have a lot of moisture in place across the west, and this will play a major role of this upcoming system we are expected to see here. So, like we were seeing on the models, we were expecting a lot of widespread, you know, a lot of widespread moisture to kind of in place across the western country. We're talking a lot of those upper elevations. Currently seeing some snowfall across some of those regions there. So let's see. Matt says, it's my birthday. Well, obviously, happy birthday, Matt. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. And my wife, Shirley, would love a shout-out. Well, Shirley, there you go. You got a shout-out. So once again, happy birthday, Matt. You know, hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that your day was absolutely great as well. And so shout-out goes to Shirley. Lava Command says, dew points here mostly in the high 50s, which has not been the best. There is still concerns about cold pool, but if there's any chance for an enhanced risk, it may be damaging winds. That is a possibility. But in terms of that, you know, it really depends on a few factors. First of all, we need to see if we get some sunlight breaching the clouds. Models have been showing a few hours of sunlight for tomorrow. I mean, obviously, if there's a lot more cloud cover than we anticipated, that might lead to a downtrend in severity. But if we see more of clear skies, which ultimately might heat up the surface a little bit more due to direct radiational heating on the surface, it will likely cause those dew points and temperatures to go up. It really just depends on what happens there. But we have been seeing some uptrends and everything like that. So Matt says, thank you. I broke my big toe earlier too. Oh, that's not good. That's a heck of a way to celebrate your birthday. But that is what we are showing here, guys. That is what we are talking about. So we're going to go ahead, guys, and move on over here to the forecast model. So I kind of want to show you guys in motion what we are expected to see in terms of timing, as well as essentially when can we expect, to see where and when, essentially, is when we're going to see this system hit. So as we were seeing here across the west, I want to go ahead and show you guys this before we look at the models. We have all this moisture in place across the west. Okay, that is what we are looking at here. So now we're going to switch on over here to my screen view. This is our NAM 3-kilometer model. This is our high-resolution model. This goes out to 9 o'clock. So it is currently 8:44. This is in Eastern time, so we're a little bit ahead of time here. But if you guys want to follow along here on the east, or on, in terms of timing, it's up here to the top right here where my highlight is. Like I said, this is in Eastern time, and we're tracking in Central time. So that's what we are talking about. This is an hour ahead of when storms will fire off here across the central parts. I just want to go ahead and make that clear for you guys. So, like we were seeing here on the radar view, we have a lot of moisture in place across the west. Across those upper elevations, we are currently seeing that here. Quantum Vortex says, I'm here now. What's going on? Quantum, obviously, first off, welcome. Hope you're doing good. And we are expecting, what is essentially going on here is we are expecting heavy snow and ice to occur across bits of the north, as well as 3 days of severe weather, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds being a concern. We're getting to that here right now in terms of the models here. Is there any chance of eastern Oklahoma getting anything anytime soon? Matt, I will say it's a possibility, and we're going to look at the Storm Prediction Center here after the models, and we will look at that more in depth of specifically locally of where we can expect the things to happen here. But that is what we are seeing here. So, like I said, we are seeing all this moisture in play here. This is for, like I said, 9 o'clock here. This is in about 15 minutes. So we track down here a few hours. Now we will start to see all of this moisture begin to shift its way here slowly to the east. And you will see that we have a new area of low pressure developing right here across the Central Plains. I mean, we're talking across bits of Kansas into southern portions here of Nebraska. This will track its way up here to the northeast. As you will see, it will deliver a lot of ice and snow across bits of the northern plains into the Midwest as we track down here in time. So this area of low pressure will really start to kind of kick off here for the early morning hours here for tomorrow. We're talking around 9 o'clock in the morning. So in about 12 hours or so, we'll have this relatively strong area of low pressure kicking off here across the Central Plains, drawing up, kind of bundling all together that moisture across the west, across those upper elevations, and dragging it in towards the system here. So that is what we are seeing here. Now, if we do progress down here in time, this area of low pressure will track its way here to the northeast. And this will actually allow for essentially, this actually will allow for the cold front to really start to kick off here across bits of the eastern side of Nebraska into western Iowa. We are seeing this cold front really start to kind of kick off. A lot of the heavy snow starting to fall across bits of northern Nebraska into southern South Dakota here. We are seeing that, and as well as maybe some ice. The models have been trending some ice here across bits of central and southern Minnesota here for the last several days. Honestly, at this point, this actually happening is seriously, honestly, is seriously a concern here. There goes my camera again here. Popcorn says, wait, why are you missing my replies? Sorry, Popcorn, I just didn't see it. Because my eyes are all over the screen and all over everything here. So let me go ahead and reboot my camera here, first of all. Get that back up here, because it likes to glitch a lot. It obviously likes to glitch a lot if you guys are just not joining here. So some of the Mid-Atlantic throughout the Northeast is getting a 70-degree weather in Sunday and Monday. Yeah, we are expecting to get some very, very warm temperatures. A lot of that advection, all that Gulf moisture driving its way up here to the southeast, or moves its way up to the northeast into the southeastern portion of the U.S. So we are going to continue to see all of this heavy ice starting to impact bits of the Midwest, the upper portion here of the Midwest. Now this will track its way further here to the northeast, eventually transitioning the ice into snow across bits of areas here of Minnesota. And we will see this cold front really kicking off here. Across bits of eastern Nebraska into basically western side here of Iowa for around 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. We are expecting that to happen here. Matt says, I love the channel. You're intelligent. You know your meteorology. I've been weather nut for years. I appreciate you taking time to educate and inform the public. Keep up the good work, guys. Matt, seriously, thank you so much. That honestly means a lot to me. Seriously, it's very, very nice of you. Thank you so much here. But like I said, we're going to really start to see this cold front really start to kind of kick off here. Kind of around the afternoon hours here, kind of around 3 o'clock p.m. according to this model. Now, this is one model. You can't trust this 100% in terms of timing, but just imagine around that ballpark is whenever we are expected to see storms starting to fire off here, kind of around 3 o'clock. Like I said, we are going to be live during this event over the next 3 days, and we will be, we will be doing that here. We will be live streaming this for the next 3 days for you guys to give you all the latest information at a live pace. Like I said, guys, if you're not already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. You guys absolutely rock here. Let's go and see here. Will the stream last longer than a year? I don't think I would be streaming for quite a year, but it really depends on what happens here. Obviously, I got to get sleep at some point over the 3-day, severe period we're seeing here. But I'll stream as much as I can. I will say. We'll most likely, because my schedule has been all out of whack here recently. My sleep schedule, I just now got it in place, and I really don't want to destroy it again. But like I said, obviously your guys' safety is the number one concern here. So if it has to go into the late night hours, I'm down. I'm down to do it again. Last longer than an hour. Oh, okay, Pilot. I thought you were talking about like the upcoming event stream. Since I did that 12 or 13-hour stream, I thought you were gonna say if I was gonna do it for a year. Pilot says I meant an hour. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be live here until maybe around 9:30, 10. Just due to the fact that we are expecting severe weather here, and I kind of need to repeat myself a lot for you guys, so new people who are just now joining here. But like I said, we're going to start to see the storms kind of fire off across afternoon hours here for tomorrow, around 3 o'clock, starting off across bits of eastern Nebraska into bits of Iowa. Honestly, like I said, all types of severe weather is expected to occur. Here. Let's go and see here. Matt says, can't wait till the big stuff hits the summer and see how you cover the long-lasting outbreaks. Honestly, I'm telling you now, if we have any high risk, I'm staying up the whole entire event. I will stay up the whole entire event for those risks. Because high risks are obviously no big deal. Sorry, that's not what I meant to say. I meant to say that they're nothing you should basically mess around with. Obviously, they're a very big deal. I just said that wrong. But basically, we will likely cover the whole entire span if we have any high risk. But let's hope not. Let's hope that does not happen here. It'll be Springfield with QLCS, quasi-lunar convective systems, or MCSs and danger noodles. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm sure we're gonna see some pretty interesting stuff happen this season. Considering we're already starting to see stuff like this kick off here, it's definitely probably going to be quite interesting here. So then we're gonna track down here in time, guys. We're gonna see this cold front advance its way through bits of Missouri into the Ohio Valley, still kicking off some thunderstorms. Some could still be severe, but as this area of low pressure does track its way off into the southern Ontario region here of southern Canada, it'll kind of fade out here. But don't expect it to be over yet, because we're going to get another area of low pressure really kicking off here across bits of the Midwest into bits of Missouri and Arkansas. We're going to see another cold front drive its way down the region here and essentially driving more severe weather across the southeast. It's definitely a concern here. So we're going to start to see this threat across bits of the Midwest here into the Ohio Valley, shift its way down south here, and eventually tracking its way here to the east. So this is going to be the trend. We are going to see all the severe weather drive its way down here, starting off north, tracking down south, and then going to the east. So we are expecting, overall some coverages of severe weather to occur roughly in this area. Obviously, you can't trust that because I just drew that right off the top of my head. But, around in that area is where we are expecting severe weather to break out here. And honestly, it could get pretty interesting at times because, like I said, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds, damaging winds would be a concern here. Matt says, how would I be able to send weather pics? I can be your eyes on the ground for eastern Oklahoma. Well, obviously, that'd be pretty cool, Matt. So if you do want to send us pictures, this goes to everyone out there. We do have our social media. It is in the description. You guys can tag us on Twitter. We are at NWW1162. You can also do hashtag NWW116reports. And we will be going over those for tomorrow in the live stream. So, yeah, Matt, that'll be really cool. Definitely. If you could send some pictures in, all of you guys, if you guys want to send any pictures in regard to what you're currently seeing on the ground, depending on where you're at, you could actually honestly make it in the live stream. We've done it before, and tomorrow would definitely be a good way to do it, considering that we are expecting, essentially, all types of severe weather here. Let me see. Hold on. Popcorn says, okay, I'm going to say it again. Some part mid-Atlantic, northeast will get 70 degrees. Yeah, I already said that. Popcorn, yeah, I saw that, and I've already replied to you by that. But that is what we are seeing, guys. It's what we are seeing here. We are expecting the winter side, ice and heavy snow across the north, as well as some severe weather across into the Midwest, into the southern portion of the Midwest, as well as the southeast. We are expecting that. Matt says, I am not on Twitter. Okay. Let's see. You could probably do something about Instagram. We usually don't go on Instagram that much. You can tag us on Instagram, but I can't promise you that we'll see it unless if you're on Instagram and you want to follow us there and post your pictures and just tag us in that as well. But make sure that you, if you do that, make sure that you let me know tomorrow whenever you're in the chat because I'm usually not checking Instagram as much as I am Twitter. Usually I'm on Twitter checking things firsthand. And I do plan on doing that here for tomorrow. So that is for that. But guys, this is what we are expecting here. So now we're going to move on over here to the overall view in regard to things. So we're going to go ahead and break this down a bit. So first off, we're taking a look here at the instability in the atmosphere. This is a major thing. Matt says Facebook. I could do Facebook. Yeah, you can send it. You can even send it to us in Messenger if you wanted to. Our Facebook's also in the description as well. Yeah, or you can send it on Discord. I don't know, Matt, if you have Discord either. If you want to send your pictures to Discord, we have Discord, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All in the description if you guys want to check that out. But that is what we are talking about. So right now we're taking a look here at the instability in the atmosphere. Simply what this is basically just your energy that's required for thunderstorms to form. So this is the way I like to look at it. So think of a thunderstorm as an engine, right? You need an intake, you need an exhaust, and basically a mechanism to allow things to keep on running. So imagine this. What we're looking here is your fuel, basically your potential fuel that could run this engine, being a thunderstorm. And we have what we call wind shear, basically just strong winds at certain levels of the atmosphere, which allow for organization and sometimes tornadoes to form. Think of that as, I guess, your spark plug, or you're just to allow for the engine to ignite, for that fuel to ignite. Imagine that as your spark plug. So we have our intake being our inflow. Our warm air from the surface drives its way up here to the north. I'll go ahead and kind of draw this, what I was saying here. Area of low pressure will develop kind of somewhere around in here. All of this warm air will drive its way up here to the north because these things rotate counterclockwise, and all the cold air will drive its way down here to the south. So we're getting a big old mixing thing going on here across the country. And so essentially this is going to allow for the instability, basically the interaction between your cold, dry air and your warm, moisture-filled air. There goes my camera again. And basically those interaction between those two opposites, your cold and warm air, this will actually allow for instability to kind of kick in the atmosphere, which will allow for thunderstorms to pop off. So like I said, we have our inflow. All of this warm air drives its way here into the north. This drives its way into bits of the country here. And as we get an updraft, basically just, air moving its way up, this could, usually in this event here, we have the cold front that's driving its way through the region. So all this warm air is being basically ramped off of the cold front. So you can imagine all that warm air at the surface and all that cold air as you go up in the atmosphere, the cold front is actually acting like a wedge and basically ramping all that warm air up into the atmosphere. So what happens there is that all that warm air is going into that colder air environment, which is allowing for condensing to occur, which create clouds. And once you get those heavy stacking clouds, a lot of heavy condensing going on, obviously you get more rain because the cloud becomes more heavier. Then you have your updraft. So that's your inflow. That's basically your intake for your engine. And then you need an exhaust. For whatever goes up must come down. So essentially, basically all of that cold air, cold air sinks and hot air rises. So the hot air rises into the upper levels of the atmosphere, and the cold air sinks and hits the ground. So that comes in your downdraft. So basically that's where your damaging wind potential comes in. Those downdrafts can get pretty gusty, and they can allow for some, I hate to say it, but this can allow for some damaging winds, maybe over 60 mile per hour being a concern. So that's essentially kind of, simplified how these things work. I hope you guys were able to kind of understand that. But what we are seeing here is that area of low pressure, the main engine of this system, driving all of these key components together, is going to really kick off here across tomorrow morning here. You can start to see here, indicated by your little wind shear, a little bit of a trough going on right here. Basically just a big dip in the jet stream, as we call it. So what's going to happen is you're going to start to see all of this moisture drive its way into the region here. Now, what we are seeing is there is a bit of instability here across bits of Kansas, southeastern Nebraska, as well as western Iowa here. But there is a thing that's kind of limiting thunderstorms to form here. So like I said, thunderstorms rise, right? Thunderstorms want to go up, and they go up into that colder atmosphere. But there's something what we call a cap. Basically a warm level in the atmosphere, which actually pushes down on the atmosphere. So you can imagine something that's trying to rise, if it's being pushed down on, it neutralizes and doesn't happen. It equals out, which is an equilibrium, which is a stable atmosphere. And for thunderstorms, you need instability. So that prevents thunderstorms from forming. Okay, that's your cap that's in place here. So if we track down here in time, once we start to reach those, essentially those, later hours here across the afternoon, we start to see that instability, that cap being broken here, which is allowing for all positive buoyancy, all of this, all the instability and all of the, thunderstorms to start rising, essentially. So that's when you're going to start to see thunderstorms fire off here. Like I said, this is a cross bits of the afternoon hours here for tomorrow. So then we're going to start to see that cap go away here, and thunderstorms are going to start firing off here. This, like I said, the models are really showing possibly of over 1,000 joules per kilogram. This is your NAM model. We're seeing over 1,500 joules per kilogram. I'll tell you what, we should look at the RAP model as well in regard to this, because obviously you can't take a look at just one model. There you go. This model is also showing it over 1,500 joules per kilogram of instability is expected. That is a lot of energy in the atmosphere, which is definitely enough to allow for severe weather to occur. Definitely enough energy in the atmosphere to allow for thunderstorms to kick off here, and like I said, potentially being severe. Now, if we do track down here in time, this one actually shows a little bit more heavier instability, drive its way through the region here, all the way into the Ohio Valley. Even the northeast is actually showing maybe some thunderstorm potential here. Across the northeast, we're going to have to watch this. We're really going to have to watch this pretty close, because this actually could cover a large ground here. And like I said, that new area of low pressure will develop, and eventually this will track its way further to the east here, driving some more severe weather across the southeast. So there is a pretty large area of severe weather we are expecting to see here over the next little bit. So we're going to go ahead and grab a sounding here across bits of the region here. Matt says, how many moderators do I have? Let's see. I have Jenny, I have Skippy, I have Courtney, I have Pilot. I believe I have 4 moderators. I want to say I have 4. I'm pretty sure I have 4. If I'm forgetting anyone, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure I have 4 here. So now we're taking a look here at a sounding. Okay? Now I'm sure you guys are seeing a whole bunch of scribbles and stuff that you and graphs and scary stuff you probably don't understand how to read here. Don't worry. I'm going to kind of break this down for you. It's not as bad as it looks. I mean, this is... Okay, honestly, whenever I first joined meteorology and I got into the field of meteorology, this almost made me quit because of how scary it looked. But it's really not that bad, honestly. But I just had so much passion, I just kept on plowing through because I knew I had to get somewhere with this because I've loved it. Let's go see. Matt says hodograph. Yeah, look at this. We have our hodograph going on here. We have a little bit of a sickle shell going on here. That is concerning. We'll get to what that means here in 1 second here. So we have all of our instability basically between this red line here. The red line is going up here from the bottom all the way up to the top. This is basically just simply your outside temperature, your ambient temperature. At different levels of the atmosphere. Like I said, this is the lower portion of the atmosphere. This is the mid portion of the atmosphere. and this is the upper portion of the atmosphere. So between your dotted blue line here and your red line, between the gap here, this is where all of your energy's at. This is where all of that instability kind of goes off here. So essentially, what that means, Maple says, hi, NWW. What's up, Maple? Hope you're doing good. But we have all of our instability in play here, all the way from the surface, going all the way up here to roughly about 9 kilometers. So this will be how high your tops could potentially get here, how high the thunderstorm could potentially get. We're talking about 9 kilometers here, because this is right where equilibrium level, basically where your atmosphere reached a stable state, right at the 9 kilometer mark. So we're probably going to start to see some of those thunderstorm tops go as high as 9 kilometers tomorrow, which that's a decent top. I mean, honestly, that's a decent sized thunderstorm that's expected to kick off. So we have our instability, which is needed for thunderstorms to form. We're talking over 1,000 joules per kilogram, which is good. That's definitely good enough to support here. Now we're taking a look at the right-hand column. So this is basically looking at the wind speeds and wind directions here. Now, there is something interesting going on here. If you look at the surface, we see the winds kind of blowing their way here to the north-northeast. And as we go up in the atmosphere, they actually change slightly to the northeast. And what this is going to do is it might allow for some spin to kick off in the atmosphere. And what happens with that is if you get some spin kicking off and you get that updraft, that thunderstorm starts to form right under where the spin is going off here, that might allow for some rotating thunderstorms to kick off, which with rotation can obviously throw the possibility of some tornadoes. Now we are seeing the lower level moisture here. We're seeing dew points here in the 50s, which honestly could be better, but honestly, it's good enough. It is good enough to allow for tornadoes to pop off in severe weather, definitely. Anything lower really wouldn't be any good. That's something we're really going to have to watch here for tomorrow, because this really depends on a few factors here. Depends on how much sunlight breaches the surface. Say the early mornings before the thunderstorms kick off here by afternoon, if the suns heat up the surface more significantly than the models are predicting here, that would allow for those temperatures to ramp up higher, those dew points to ramp up higher, the overall moisture supply to go up higher as well, which might allow for more severity, honestly. So we're really going to have to wait till tomorrow's observations come in from mesoscale analysis in order to see if things are going to get bad. I mean, obviously they're not expected to be good, but depends. We'll look tomorrow whenever the storms kick off here, around 3 o'clock or so, or whenever thunderstorms really kind of kick off here, and we'll decide what's going on then and there. Let's go and see here. What's up, Vance? Last time the morning was under a gun like this was December 15th. Whenever, oh yeah, I'm just tired of talking about the anticipation is killing me. Let's just get it here and over with. Vance, honestly, I'm sure a lot of people feel that way as well. Like I said, there is the possibility, like I said, there is all types of severe weather being a concern. I mean, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. I hate to say it, but, all I ask is that you guys are ready for this. I mean, let your friends and family know if they are inside the area here. Just know where to go. I mean, I'm sure you guys will be fine. I'm sure you guys will be okay, but just know where to go in case if the worst case scenario does come out to play here. Just know where to go, know where to, know what to bring with you in an event like this. Like we say, for tornado events like this, say worst case scenario, a tornado does end up hitting your house. That's the worst case scenario here. Make sure that you go into the central and lowest portion of your house or a building, depending on where you're at. If you're in a car, get out of the car, go into the ditch, cover your head. Obviously, try to find a building if you can that offers more protection. But if you cannot find anything, go into a ditch. Do not stay in your car, because do not try to outrun the tornado either, because they can pick up speed, and honestly, they could be moving pretty quick. So, essentially, that is, do not stay in your car, because if your car does get picked up, it'll turn into a mangled mess, and you don't want to be inside of that whenever your car is crushed. So you want to go into a ditch on the lowest portion, cover your head to help protect your head during an event like this. Now, obviously, like I said, if you are in a house, go to the central and lowest portion of your home. We also recommend that you bring a helmet and shoes. I'm sure you guys who have been here for those, basically, I'm sure, like I said, if you guys have been here during our other severe weather events, we recommend that you have 2 items here. Like I said, tennis shoes or, any type of shoe you have, as well as a helmet. What the helmet's going to do is, if you're in your safe place, and say all worst case scenario does happen, you get hit by a tornado, you have some protection on your head. Obviously, that's good, because if debris hits your head, it's a bit of protection that could honestly help you, because your head's the most vital organ. If that takes a blow, I mean, it's not good. So have a helmet if you can, help protect you in a case like that, as well as like I said, the shoes. You gotta think the worst case scenario here that you would see is you gotta think nails, glass, all types of shrapnel, mangled metal, all types of sharp objects will be all over the ground. And last thing you need is more injuries in an event of a tornado event, because I'm sure that the hospitals are already going to start to get kicked up here with a lot of patients, a lot of injuries being reported here. And the last thing you need is more injuries and more congestion inside of the hospital system. So be prepared. That's all I want to ask you guys. I want you guys to know this. Because obviously safety is your guys' number one concern here. It's our concern here. And like I said, tomorrow we will be live on this, covering the whole entire event here live. So you'll be up to date on the current event. All warnings, all watches, whatever. We'll be going all over it tomorrow. Let's go and see here. I'm getting a little bit behind here. I'm getting a little bit behind here in the chat, so let's go ahead and go back up here. Matt says, James Spann always says radar and graphs look like a bucket spilled paint to uneducated. Yeah, honestly, for real. That's the way I saw it when I first started studying weather here. Thank you for taking the time to explain models to people. Matt, you're very, very welcome. Like I said, I'm here for you guys 100% of the way. And obviously your guys' safety is number one concern, which is why we are doing this. This is why we're staying later. Like I said, we're doing a later live stream tonight because of the severe weather event for tomorrow. We want to give extra time to prepare for this, for things going off here. Let's go and see here. Paint, not pain. Let's go and see here. Maple says, do I think that dew points raised to a range from 60 to 64 or mixed layer cape ranges, range rises from 15 or 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram to 600 to 15? That risk could be raised to an enhanced. I would say it's possible. It could go to an enhanced, based off of the sheer reason of how much of an uptrim the latest models have been showing here. Both your RAP and your NAM models have been saying more energy in the atmosphere, which might get more violent. I'd say it's a possibility. It could go enhanced. I would say it's kind of hard for people to say this because it's really kind of an unknown factor, because obviously I don't work for the Storm Prediction Center, but I've seen these events play out to where they get an upgrade. They usually get a upgrade if they are the day of the event. What we're seeing here. Let's go ahead and see here. I'm getting pretty far behind here. Let's go see. Vance says, I'm bringing my hard hat from work. Good. That's a good idea. Definitely good for some head protection. Definitely good. Rubber steel toe boots. Yeah, Vance, that's good. I'm glad to see that you're preparing for it. That is definitely good here. Matt says, is it bad? I hope that pray for the Storm Prediction Center and the extreme rich days. Matt, honestly, for us weather enthusiasts, it's really cool to see, but it's not cool for the people who are not expecting this. Like, personally, it is pretty cool to, to track these events and, all that, but there is one major downside, is the destruction that these events can cause. It's sad, but I wouldn't say that you're, I wouldn't say that it's bad by any means. I wouldn't say it's, like I said, it's not good, but it can be interesting to see how these things play along, if that makes sense here. Let's go ahead and see here. Stormy says, so with what being you said, tornadoes and being prepped, I was wondering what you think about severity of a tornado, and should one pop off here? Like, how strong would I think? So, severity in terms of tornadoes matters mostly with your wind shear as well as your energy in the atmosphere. We have enough energy to theoretically allow for big tornadoes to occur, but there is one big setback here. We have our lower level jet. This is basically a northerly component of winds that shifts its way to the north here, which is basically the starts off tornado genesis. We're seeing those winds a little bit weaker, so significant tornadoes cannot be ruled out, but being EF2 and higher. But I wouldn't say that they're going to be a huge concern. I'd say they're possible, but I'd say that they're probably not going to be, more of them than overall potential for normal tornadoes to occur. So, maybe it really just ranges here. It really matters on observations for tomorrow as well, between what the models are saying. Because like I said, models aren't perfect. If the observations show more severity, then obviously there's maybe some bigger tornado potential. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out here. I think tornadoes could get pretty decent. They could definitely do some damage if that's what you're asking here. Let's go and see here. Lava Command says, by the way, there is a flood threat from the Weather Prediction Center during today's Storm Prediction Center's Day 3 event. This does include eastern Oklahoma, northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, southern India, western Kentucky, and southern Illinois. Yeah, so not only is severe weather going to be an event, but flooding might be as well here. Could I zoom into the sounding and the hodograph? Yeah, I can do that. Go ahead and zoom in here. So here's our hodograph. So basically what this is representing is basically our wind change, our wind speed and wind directional change here from the layers of the atmosphere. And like we were seeing, we do have that veering wind shear pattern, that spin kicking off in the atmosphere. And that is shown here, kind of in this, what we call a sickle shape hodograph. Which, if you kind of see like a half heart shape hodograph like this usually means that the atmosphere has enough wind shear in the atmosphere to produce tornadoes. Which, we have enough instability, definitely. Instability is, at this point across bits of western Iowa, it's not a concern anymore. We're expecting some pretty large numbers to occur here. And the winds are there to allow for tornadoes to pop off. Definitely. For sure. Let's go ahead and see here. Pop says, I got to go by. All right, see you later, Popcorn. Being killed in a tornado is my biggest fear ever since I was a kid. Yeah, Vance, honestly, I'm sure that's been a lot of our fears as well. But as long as you are prepped, as long as you know the situation that's going on around you and what to do in case of an event like this, it gives you a much higher potential of making it out okay during an event like this. That's why we're doing this now, is to make sure you guys are prepared. Because that is our main concern here, so make sure that you guys are ready and know what's going your way. So like I said, if you know anyone who's being affected by this, tell them to join the live stream. Tell them to follow along with what we're about to go over here. We're about to go over the overall Storm Prediction Center view, so if you guys want to bring in your friends and family, now's the time to bring them in here, because we're going to go over the areas that are being affected, as well as breaking down each individual risk with this upcoming event here. So, that is what we are talking about here. Vance says, is this worse than December 15th was? I don't know if you remember that day or not. Who could not remember that day? I do remember it, and do I think it's going to be worse? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be as bad, but obviously things can still change by then. I would say no, but I will say that just because I'm saying that does not mean you should just be like, okay, it's not going to be that bad. Because like I said, there is going to be all types of severe weather tomorrow as well, and seriously, things could get bad once again here. So that goes there. But yeah, that's what we are talking about here. Matt says probably more of a risk for QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, danger noodles. Yeah, with those QLCS tornadoes, basically just, simply for you guys who don't know what it is, a long line of thunderstorms, a squall line, usually riding a high of the cold front. Problem with those is the fact that visibility becomes low with tornadoes. If a tornado does develop inside of that squall line or the QLCS, they can become rain-wrapped. Basically, those rain bands start wrapping around the cyclone, which lowers visibility, which makes it hard to see those tornadoes, which might just be a problem tomorrow, considering we are expecting that cold front to kind of kick off across eastern Nebraska into western Iowa for the early afternoon. We're talking around maybe 2, 3 o'clock. Depends on what model you're looking at. Like I said, models aren't perfect here in terms of things. But that's not what we're talking about. Or that's what we're looking at here so far. But like I said, guys, please be safe. Like I said, obviously, Matt says say danger noodles. Okay, there you go, Matt. Danger noodles. Yes. So we are seeing the possibility of some danger noodles. Honestly, the Storm Prediction Center changed the overall tornado thing from tornadoes, this little tab here, to danger noodles. I would actually vote for that, honestly. For sure. Okay, so guys, we're going to go ahead and go over here for the event. We're going to take a look here at the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook here. So like I said, if you are new to the channel, obviously welcome. Hope you're doing good. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated, guys. We're on the road to 600 subscribers. It'd be greatly appreciated. Honestly, it means a lot more to me than you guys think. So seriously, first of all, I want to say thank you for joining us. And second, I want to go ahead and say, guys, make sure if you know anyone in these areas here we're about to discuss here, give them a heads up. Your friends, your family, just send them a text, or if you're with them, just tell them. Any way you can, just be like, hey, there's a potential severe weather tomorrow. Be safe, and know what to do in case of a tornado. That's all. That's all you got to do. And honestly, that would actually help save lives, believe it or not. Matt says, I'm trying to get danger noodles accepted as a technical term. Honestly, I'm with you on that, Matt. I've always called snakes danger noodles, but also tornadoes are danger noodles as well, if you look at it that way. So, alrighty, guys, so we're taking a look here at the Storm Prediction Center side of things here. We're taking a look here at our Day 2 convective outlook. So this is your overall thunderstorm forecast issued by the Storm Prediction Center here for tomorrow. And like I said, we have the threat for severe weather. So we have three shades of color here. We have 2 shades of green here, light green, dark green, and yellow. You're probably wondering what that means. So if you are inside of the light green area here, across bits of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, bits of the upper Midwest, and basically the Southwest as well. What this is showing is you might have a chance for thunderstorms, but not expected to be severe. Just your average thunderstorms might pop off here. Now, the areas here we need to monitor is the dark green and the yellow. So basically, for an event like this, it's on a scale of 1 to 5. Severe threat level 1 out of 5, being the lowest potential of severe weather is across the dark green. This does include bits of northern Illinois, central and southern Wisconsin, southern bits of Minnesota, eastern side here of Nebraska, northeastern Kansas, and northern portion here of Missouri. So that is our severe threat level 1 out of 5, showing there's a threat for severe weather. We'll break this down more here in 1 second. And then we have our second shade across the yellow. This does include Omaha, Des Moines area here, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, as well as Rochester. This does include those areas here. This does include pretty much the majority here of Iowa is inside of this slight risk. So this is severe threat level 2 out of 5. This is a notch higher, which is showing that honestly, to be honest with you, this is a little bit more severe and something we really need to watch here pretty closely. So in terms of tornadoes, we do have a chance of seeing tornadoes here. We have a 5% chance, an overall 5% chance of seeing tornadoes across the across the region. This does include the Des Moines area here. Cedar Rapids, there is a 5% chance of seeing a tornado every single 25 miles. This does repeat every single 25 miles, so you can kind of see that essentially, essentially what happens here is that it adds on. So covering a larger area here of 5% just overall increases the probability we will see a tornado for tomorrow. That is what we are seeing here. But yeah, that is what we are looking at. We have the lower 2% chance. It's still a chance here of, still is a chance here of tornadoes, but it's just a lower probability here. In terms of damaging winds and hail, we have a 15% chance for both, kind of around the same areas here. Wind damage could potentially get over 60 mile per hour wind gusts here, which could be a concern. Over 60 mile per hour could be possible, as well as hail, maybe over 1 inch in diameter and greater. So if you do not know what that is, it's the size of a quarter and greater. Could see hail that size or larger for tomorrow. So like I said, hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes being a concern. Then we move on to the Day 3 outlook. They do not have a breakdown for this, but like I said, all the severe weather that's currently kicking off here, we will see it kind of kicking off around here. Area of low pressure will track its way to the northeast, kicking off some severe weather. This will track its way down here to the south for Sunday, and then eventually track its way here to the east, as we'll get another area of low pressure kind of developing across the region here, tracking its way there. So it's a two area of low pressure system here that we're dealing with. First one impacting bits of the Midwest into the Ohio Valley, eventually tracking south and then the southeast. Matt says, am I the only one that gets excited to hear the severe weather outlook on the No Weather Radio? Matt, no. Honestly, I do the same as well. If you do not know, I have a lot of No Weather Radios myself. That's really kind of what helped spark my interest for weather. It helped definitely build it. No Weather Radio broadcasts, having EASs. I've been kind of an EAS enthusiast a lot of my life as well. Just hearing those alerts come in, it's pretty cool. And I have a lot of them. I literally have a lot of weather radios. I mean, I'm talking, I think last time I checked, I started getting them in like 2018. I think I have like 14. I know that's pretty bad to say, but I think I have like 14 no weather radios. But I will say, 4 of them I do have programmed for different locations, and I'm going to show you how, what my idea is on this. So I'm here in Northern Virginia, right around in here, okay? So storms usually track to the northeast, towards the region. So obviously I have my county here, right? I have that set for 1 radio, and I have a few other counties for my other 3, kind of set behind it to the southwest. So if any storm does track its way to the region, it'll hit these markers and alert me before they reach my location, showing that there might be a possibility of seeing that. And then eventually it tracks over my location. That's just to give me extra time. But honestly, I'm usually always on radar view if there's an event, so I would honestly know if something was happening. But that would be like the worst case scenario if I'm not paying attention to the weather, if I'm busy for some reason, and I do hear that. But yeah, that's what we're seeing here, weather OCD, yeah, for real. But yeah, that's what I usually do with these events. Just being prepared is, good here. And then we move on to day 4, guys. We have another severe threat. So like I said, we'll see the severe threat track from bits of the Midwest into the southeast and track its way further this way. 15% chance, equivalent to a slight risk again across the region here. So there is 3 days of severe weather that is expected to occur here, which things could get pretty interesting here. Like I said, we are going to be covering this for tomorrow, being Saturday. We'll also track it Sunday and Monday. We'll be here all the next 3 days for you guys. So we'll be here for you guys 100% of the way. So guys, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and go on break here for 1 second. Like I said, we usually end the live stream here at 9, but since we have this event going on here, we're just going to keep it going for a little bit longer here. Probably around 10 is when I do expect to end the live stream here. We're going to go on break here for about maybe 5-10 minutes or so. We'll probably be back around 9:30-ish. So guys, hang tight. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor, guys. Consider hitting the subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you guys do want to support the channel to help us out, help us get better equipment, that give you guys better coverages, and just overall help us out, we have our link in the description. You guys can check it out. Seriously, I really do appreciate all your support. But guys, we'll be back here momentarily, so hang tight. We'll be back here with the latest weather updates.
162.525 megahertz. We apologize for this interruption and will have service restored as soon as possible. The Des Moines, Iowa climate summary for this evening, as of 5:20 p.m., March 4th, 2022. Today's high temperature was 53 degrees. The normal high is 43. The record high is 76 degrees, which was set in 1921. Today's low temperature was 26 degrees. The normal low is 25. The record low is -9 degrees, which was set in 1978. No precipitation fell today, which leaves the monthly total at a trace. This is 0.24 inches below the normal amount of 0.24 inches for March. The total precipitation for the year still stands at 1.66 inches, which is 1.00 inches below normal. No snow fell today, which brings the monthly total to a trace. The total snowfall since July 1st still stands at 25.8 inches. There were 25 heating degree days today, which is 6 below normal. This brings the monthly total to 84, which is 43 below normal. The yearly total since July 1st is 4,576, which is 344 below normal. Today the maximum wind observed was 21 miles an hour from the southeast. The highest wind gust observed was 27 miles per hour from the southeast. Today, the average wind speed was 12 miles per hour. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 44 degrees, and the normal low is 25. The record high for tomorrow is 74, which occurred in 2009, and the record low is -15, which occurred in 1960. Sunset tonight is at 6:09 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:43 a.m. This is NOAA All Hazards Weather Radio Station WXL 57 at Des Moines, Iowa, transmitting on 162.55 megahertz. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service at Des Moines, Iowa. The current time is 8:25 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for Des Moines and surrounding locations. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers until midnight, then a chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Breezy. low in the mid-40s. Southeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts up to 35 miles an hour, decreasing to 25 miles an hour after midnight. Chance of precipitation 50%. Saturday, mostly cloudy. A chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers and a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Breezy. High in the mid-60s. South wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation 90%. Saturday night, partly cloudy early in the evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. A 50% chance of thunderstorms until midnight. Breezy, colder. Low in the upper 20s. West wind 15 to 25 miles an hour with gusts to around 40 miles an hour. Sunday, mostly sunny. Much colder. High in the lower 40s. Northwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts to around 25 miles an hour. Sunday night, mostly cloudy. Rain and snow likely until midnight, then snow likely possibly mixed with freezing rain after midnight. A light glazing expected. Low in the mid-20s. North wind 5 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation 70%. Monday, mostly cloudy. A chance of snow in the morning, then a slight chance of rain and snow in the afternoon. High in the mid-30s. Chance of precipitation 50%. Monday night, mostly clear. Low around 20. Tuesday, sunny. High in the mid-40s. Tuesday night, mostly clear. Low in the mid-20s. Wednesday, mostly sunny. High in the upper 40s. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of rain and snow until midnight, then a slight chance of snow after midnight. Low in the upper 20s. Chance of precipitation 20%. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow possibly mixed with rain. High in the lower 40s. Thursday night, mostly cloudy. A chance of snow possibly mixed with rain until midnight, then a chance of snow after midnight. Breezy, colder. Low 10 to 15. Chance of precipitation 50%. Friday, partly sunny with a 40% chance of snow. Breezy, colder. High in the mid-20s. Again, the forecast for Des Moines and surrounding locations for tonight, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers until midnight, then a chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Breezy. Low in the mid-40s. Southeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts up to 35 miles an hour, decreasing to 25 miles an hour after midnight. Chance of precipitation 50%. These are the 8 p.m. conditions for the Des Moines area. At the Des Moines airport, it was cloudy. The temperature was 47 degrees Fahrenheit, or 8 degrees Celsius, the dew point 35, and the relative humidity 63%. The wind was southeast at 15 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.88 inches and falling. Looking around the area. At Newton, it was partly cloudy, with a temperature of 43. It was cloudy, with a temperature of 43 at Boone, 45 at Ames, 42 at Marshalltown, and 45 at Ankeny. At Perry, it was fair, with a temperature of 39. Here are some conditions elsewhere in Iowa.
Alrighty, guys, we are back. Sorry for a bit of a wait here. We're just taking a little bit of a break, like I said. But I hope you guys are doing good here. If you guys are just now tuning in again, obviously welcome. Hope you guys are staying safe here. And like I said, as always, if you have any questions, just know I'll be here for y'all. So we're going to be live here for another half hour, giving you guys all the latest information. We're going to look at more things this round here. I want to discuss the Storm Prediction Center, the models again, the radar view, this time the forecast in terms of temperatures as well as overall watches and warnings that are currently out as well. I do want to discuss that as well. And and maybe a few other things. We'll look at that here in a second. But obviously, guys, obviously welcome. So we're going to go ahead and start way back here from the beginning again. I want to go ahead and touch up on everything. If you guys have just now tuned in. And like I said, if you have any questions, throw them down in the chat here. I'll be active and be sure to answer your questions as best as I can. As well, if you are new to the channel, guys, do me a favor, consider hitting the subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. You guys are the best. So like I said, we are going to look at all these things here again. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to the U.S. radar view in 1 second. We're going to go ahead and do that here right now. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to the United States radar view. This is what we are looking at across the nation. Now, across the West, we are currently seeing here across bits of the West here. Let's go ahead and see here. So you didn't answer me about the case study. Matt, I didn't see what you talked about there. Not real sure where you're at there. But, like I said, across the West, we are currently seeing, there goes my camera again. Size always wants to cut out here. Like I said, I'm really surprised it really didn't cut out that first time we did that 12-hour live stream. Not even one time did it cut out. And the fact it cuts out, like, it's already cut out, like, what, 3 or 4 times already this live stream here? So like I said, we are seeing a lot of that snow shower activity here across the West. I can't really zoom in. I think my program is broken. But we are seeing a lot of that snow shower activity that is across the West. A little bit of rain across bits of the Midwest as well. Nothing too crazy as of now, but watch, all of this moisture you see here will be playing a major role in terms of this upcoming severe weather event here. All of this will shift its way here to the east. New air low pressure will develop here, as you're about to see here in terms of the model. So it's almost 10 o'clock here in the eastern side of the United States. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to the models, looking at 10 o'clock p.m. Now, obviously, like I said, this event is mostly for Central Time as of now. But I will say this is an hour behind. So 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time is 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Let's go see here. A case study about the 4/27/11 event. I'd love to hear your input on it. Oh yeah, crazy super outbreak of April. I actually did have a tornado in that event. I was here in Northern Virginia. We had an EF1 tornado that did impact the region here. That was a crazy day. That was a really crazy day. That was a mixture of really high instability and really heavy shear. Two of the worst, conditions together, which ultimately led to a super outbreak. Crazy event. I mean, that'll go down in history. It's already gone down in history, and it's pretty crazy. We've seen multiple EF5 tornadoes. The last time we've seen an EF5 was 2013. So it's been almost 10 years since we've had an EF5 tornado. We've been in an EF5 drought for a while, which is a good thing. But we've had some pretty close calls, especially like Mayfield tornado, pretty close call. We had that very high-end or mid to high-end EF4 tornado that impacted Mayfield. A lot of other ones we've seen. Pretty crazy here. So, like I said, guys, I'm going to try to cram as much here. I'm going to try to cram as much information as I can here before the half hour is over. We have about 26 minutes. We're going to go ahead and power through this as quick as we can here. Matt says, yeah, I'm barely in the slight risk area here. Well, that's good. It's good that you're further out of it, but you can still see severe weather here. So, like I said, we are seeing all this moisture across the West, currently kicking off here. Seeing it on the radar view, as well as you can see it here on the future radar view in regard to things. Now, all of this will track its way here to the east. New area of low pressure really kicking off here, kind of for the early morning hours here for tomorrow, around 8 o'clock a.m. Central Time. We'll start to see this really strong area of low pressure kicking off across bits of central country, Kansas and Nebraska. Starting to see that area of low pressure really start to strengthen. Now, this will track its way up here to the northeast, driving some potential heavy ice and snow for bits of Minnesota, kind of for later on tomorrow. We track down here in time, so heavy snow falling across the afternoon hours here for South Dakota. Some ice falling across bits of Minnesota here for the afternoon, evening hours here, track its way through the region. Then we will see this really strong cold front that will develop here across bits of eastern Nebraska into western Iowa for kind of around 3 o'clock p.m., so about 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Start to see those thunderstorms starting to pop off here. And like I said, some of them could be severe. Large hail, damaging winds, as well as tornadoes could be a concern. So, That is what we are seeing here. So then we do track down here in time. We track down here further. This cold front will advance here to the southeast, backing in all of this cold air behind it. And then kind of starting to fade out here as it gets pretty far away from this area of low pressure. But there's still a bit of moisture that is in play here, just kind of stalling out. But we'll have a new area of low pressure that will develop here across the Central Plains from basically northeastern Oklahoma into bits of Missouri, driving another cold front, sparking off more severe weather here across the southeast here for Monday. So like I said, for tomorrow being Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we are expecting severe weather to occur, unfortunately being a concern. So like I said, that is what we are expecting to kick off here. Maybe some more snow across bits of the Central Plains into the Midwest with the secondary area of low pressure in regard to things here. So that is what we are seeing here. Maybe some impacts of snow and ice across the Northeast, but mostly rain for the people. You can kind of see here, maybe for areas of Maine, maybe seeing some freezing rain occurring here. But overall, honestly, that is what we're looking at here. That is what we are dealing with in terms of timing. So this is kind of it in play here. You can kind of see those two areas of low pressure kicking off here. First one driving severe weather up further north, and the second one driving it more further south. Kind of what we are seeing here in regard to things. So we're going to go ahead, guys. We're going to move on here to the forecast model. Or sorry, we already looked at those. We're going to take a look at the National Weather Service hazards because, like I said, we have a bit to talk about here. There is a bit that's going on here. So as you can see, there's a lot of crazy colors here on the map, and I'm sure you guys do not know what any of them mean, so we're going to go ahead and go over them really quickly for you guys. So if you guys are in the pink regions here, this does include bits of New Mexico, bits of Colorado, bits of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. If you guys are inside of these areas here in kind of the pinkish color, this is showing that you have a red flag warning in effect, basically just to alert you that fire weather might be possible. So wildfires might break out, usually caused by low relative humidity as well as some gusty winds occurring. Wildfires might break out just to alert your firefighters to be on extra alert. Then we do have some wind advisories in effect, kind of across this tan shade area here, much across the southeast into bits of the Central Plains here, basically showing that gusty winds are expected to occur across the tan shade areas here. Localized damages could be possible here. And then we do have a high wind watch that is in effect here for bits of the central portion here of Michigan. Let's go and see here. Matt says it could be more of an MCS event. We'll see how this plays out. It is showing that there is a possibility of a very strong cold front driving its way through the region here. I'm kind of concerned by how the models are showing this. Like I said, a lot of it just depends on observations tomorrow as well. We'll watch the RAP analysis for tomorrow in regard to things. So, like I said, across these areas here, we are seeing some high wind watches, basically showing that conditions could be favorable for high winds to develop, and just watch out for high wind warnings as that shows that imminent heavy winds are expected. Regardless, gusty winds are expected to occur here. And then we do have a lot of blue. We have a lot of kind of purplish blue going on here across a lot of the north and the western sides of the country. These are all winter weather advisories, just giving you extra heads up that winter weather might be impacting the region, maybe giving some, maybe having some concerns, maybe some impacts could be possible, but not strong enough to be issued for a winter storm warning, just under the warning criteria here, just an advisory, just to give you extra heads up. And then we do have some winter storm warnings. Now, these are a little bit more severe than those winter weather advisories here across the pink. Across western Nebraska, bits of eastern portion here of Wyoming, central portion of Nevada, northeastern California, basically east central portion here of Minnesota, and northwestern Wisconsin. We are actually seeing some of those winter storm warnings that are in effect here, basically showing that heavy impacts and winter weather is expected to occur here. Let's go and see here. Matt says, I don't even know your name. Well, my name is Andrew. It's literally right below me. I don't know if you've seen that. That's literally my name right down there. But that is what we are seeing. And then there's one more thing in the winter weather world that we are currently seeing here across these kind of plum purple colors. Now, this could be interesting once it goes on here. These are ice storm warnings across the upper northwestern state here of Michigan, as well as the central and northern portion here of Wisconsin, showing that we are expecting maybe some heavy icing to occur. That's what you are talking about. Let's go ahead and see your Van says... Indifference just irks me, dude. We live in a freaking trailer. Home, worst possible place to be in a scenario like this. Vance is kind of crazy. Is it me, or does it seem like tornadoes always try to target trailer homes as well as barns and like farms and stuff? It always seems that way. I think that's more of like a movie perspective, like Twister, because you've seen those barns that were being hit. It always seems like trailer parks and farms are the ones that always get hit, according by from what you've seen. But obviously that's not the case, because a lot of other places, even major cities, get tornadoes, which is not good at all. Not good at all. But like I said, that is what we are talking about here in terms of the watches, warnings, and advisories. Oh, I did forget to mention This across the upper northwestern side here, kind of for this turquoise color, kind of tealish turquoise. For northwestern side here of California, right here on the coast, these are freeze watches, showing that we could see some freezing temperatures down the line here. Basically, yeah, right here, freeze watch is showing that we could see some freezing temperatures across the region here. Matt says, I think there'll be a derecho on day 3. Matt, it is a bit early to say that. We'll see what goes on here. A few years back saying that we survived the trailer, I was like, Vance, I mean, honestly, you should just tell her, like, honestly, just to be prepared for this. It doesn't mean that you will be directly impacted by this, extremely. But just let her know that the atmosphere is favorable for all types of severe weather, including tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Take this from a professional standpoint here. Models, guidance, latest observations, in terms of radar, like we have been seeing, showing all that moisture in play here. Take my word for it. Yes, there will be a possibility for tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Vance, even show her I said that if you want to. From another person's perspective. It is definitely a concern. It is definitely going to be a concern here over the next few days. Like I said, tomorrow, being Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we are expecting severe weather to kick off here. KJ says, yo, what's up, KJ? Welcome to live stream here. Somebody said I live in a trailer home myself. Luckily, my grandparents are on the other side of the road. Have a rock and concrete home, so that's pretty thick. It's our only safe place during it's in our dogs. Well, Stormy, that's good that you have at least a safe place to go if one of these does materialize. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to have that you have a plan in place. That's what I want everyone to have. I want everyone to have a plan here. Now, obviously, if you are in a trailer, it's not really the best place to be if a tornado is on the ground. In that case, what you would want to do is, if you can, get in your car, drive to a place that's built a little bit more sturdy, and get to shelter. Some of these cities and some of these towns have bomb shelters too. Those would work even for like these events. I'm sure some of them open for these events here. But that is what we are talking about. Vance says, I'm done talking to her about the storm season. It's just the beginning. Let Mother Nature do the talking for me. Vance, as crazy as it sounds, I know it can get pretty frustrating, but as long as she knows that there is a possibility of severe weather tomorrow, just monitor the latest observations, latest thing. There goes my camera again. Just monitor the latest conditions. Like I said, we'll be live on this tomorrow. So if you want to follow along, and if you see something heading towards your area, know when to act. That's what we ask. And like I said, right now, today, just know what you would personally do if there was an event here. Let's go ahead and see here. Is there a way to get mod, and also do I have WSV3? KJ, there is a way you can get mod. You can apply here in the Discord. I don't have Discord rip. You should get it. It's a pretty good app here. It's free too. So if you want to download that, you can apply in our Discord server. Also, Matt says, have I ever seen a water spout or a fire tornado? I have not seen a fire tornado or a water spout. I've seen tornadoes though. I've seen one tornado. I've been in 3 of them. 2 in Kentucky, 1 in Virginia, and one of them was during the April 27th event, 2011. Also, KJ says, do I have WSV3? I do not have WSV3. Eventually, once the channel does grow bigger, I do plan on getting WSV3 because, between that, it's, not really a cheap program, to be honest with you. It's quite pricey. Once you start getting like Pivotal Weather Plus and Weather Bell, which I do plan on getting eventually as well as WSV3, it's quite pricey, honestly. But once the channel does get a bit bigger here, I do plan on getting those. Yes, I do eventually plan on getting those. Andy says, does Michigan have a high wind warning? Andy, they do not have a high wind warning, but we do have a high wind watch, meaning that they could turn into high wind warnings eventually, but right now they're not. Right now, they're just high wind watches. But that is what we are looking at, guys. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and cut the live stream here at 10 o'clock, like I said, so in about 15 minutes. So if you have any questions, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and kind of spend the last segment to you guys. If you have any questions at all, now is the time to ask for them. If you have any questions regarding this event, let your friends and family know. Tell them to join here for the last 15 minutes, because we'll be here for another 14 minutes here. Let them know, let them know that severe weather is possible across a large area here from the Midwest into the Southeast. And if you have any questions, I'll be here for you guys. And I'll answer them for the 14 minutes we have left. Let's go and see here. I read about the EF3 Firenator somewhere, but I don't remember where. I'm sure there has been a few of those. KJ says, do you have an NVIDIA graphics card? Because mine is trash. My graphics card is a GTX 1050 Ti. It's not like the Ferrari of graphics card, but it's enough to get the job done. My computer is a bit old, too. Which, this computer is, I think, 8 years old. It's pretty old. I believe it's from 2014. And he says, can we look at winds here from Western New York? Yeah, we can look at winds here. But like I said, my computer's a little bit old here. The processor's good. If you guys know anything about computers, I have an i7-4790K, 16 gigabyte DDR3 RAM, as well as that GTX 1050 Ti with also a GT 710 for an additional HD monitor. As if you guys know anything about computers, that's my specs on this computer. I also have a 3-monitor setup. This one over here, you can't see it, obviously, but where I'm pointing to, this is right where I can monitor the stream. This is where I can look at subscribe count, as well as do the No Weather Radio. I'll even post, I think for tomorrow, I'll post a whole picture of my setup for you guys to see tomorrow before you go live, because I have a community tab now. So, monitor the live stream, look at subscriber count, as well as No Weather Radio. This is my main screen. This is the one you guys are seeing right now, right directly in front of me. This one over here, there's 2 different tabs open. The left-hand side is the radar you see above my head, and the right-hand side is the radar, the overall nation view. So I can still see the nation right now. You guys can't see it. I can look at the nation. I can look at the radar view, my main screen, subscribers, and things like that. Let's go ahead and see here. KJ says, what is my streaming software settings? I need help. The settings really depends on your computer. Now, if you have a toaster, there is a auto configuration wizard which does auto config the settings to your computer to give the best performance. So obviously what's for my computer will likely work different with yours. That's the thing here. Andy says, do I think that Western New York will get some type of wind alert? So Andy, we'll look at the winds here. Hold on. Go back to the GFS model in regard to things. Like I said, gusty winds are probably going to be a concern here. Let's go to here. Vance says, last year Iowa was spared a terrible spring and summer. Needless to say, I thoroughly shocked when worst tornado situation happened in December of all months. Yeah, December was very crazy. I mean, we had like 4 severe weather events here. And the crazy thing is during the Mayfield tornado, I was actually in western Kentucky at the time. I was just slightly to the north of Louisville, Kentucky. I was not even 200 miles away from the Mayfield tornado when it happened. And I was in the state of Kentucky, which was kind of crazy. And I remember I was in Kentucky from mid-November until mid-January. So I was there for about 2 months or so. And there was a day I did travel down towards Cave City, or Mammoth Cave. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's basically southwestern Kentucky. It's kind of near Bowling Green. And because, that's where my grandma lives. And she has a shop down there. And we went down there and, hung out for a bit. And essentially, there was a severe weather event. I remember when I was there. I remember the ambient temperature. I mean, a lot of people say that they can feel it in the air. They can feel like the storms before they happen. You're just feeling that warm moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. All that advection, that warm air driving its way from the Gulf. And you can really feel it that way. And for December, usually it's cold around that time, but it was like 60s and muggy. And that's when you knew things were going off here. And I remember seeing some lightning in the distance. We did have a few thunderstorms that they kick off here. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy here. Let's go ahead and see here. Matt says, I've seen a May 3rd, 1999 F5. I wasn't even alive in 1999. I was -3 years old. So, do the math. You'll know when I was born. I think 60 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. Okay, Andy, we'll look at the winds here. I can't look at wind gusts because, like I said, I don't have Pivotal Weather Plus here. My subscription ran out, unfortunately. But in terms of, winds, we can take a look at these sustained winds here at around 10-meter angle. So if we track down here in time, wait for this thing to load. It's going to take a second. Yeah, we could see some gusty winds here, maybe up to 20, 30 knots, especially towards the waters. Yeah, especially towards the waters. Obviously, there's 25 knots, maybe 30 mile per hour sustained winds, which, honestly, yeah, you could see some pretty heavy gusts. Obviously, this isn't showing that. Matt says, how many times have I watched Twister? 2-minute account. I couldn't even tell you exactly how many times. At least 50 in my life. I'm not even joking about that. That's literally what sparked my interest in weather. I believe the first time I watched it was like back in 2007. I was like 5 years old when I started watching Twister, and that's what sparked it all. And my kind of time frame was this. So, first of all, I mean, in the beginning, I was scared of thunderstorms, as most kids usually are. As most kids usually are, they're afraid of thunderstorms. I was in the beginning. Then I saw Twister, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But I was, still young then. Then I remember getting hit by blizzards, and, there was a few tropical storms that went by the D.C. area here. And I remember just getting so fascinated about it. And then there's a tornado I did witness here, I believe in like 2008, 2009 across Kentucky. I don't know exactly what day it was. I was still pretty young. It was near Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, like I was telling you a minute ago. It was around the area. We were visiting my grandma. We were actually at a party at my aunt's house. And we were seeing, that's whenever I saw my first tornado was there. And then we had another two later on, I believe in like 2010, like a year or two later. Once again in Cave City, kind of crazy. 2 areas I've seen tornadoes, and then I had that one here in April of 2011. I remember that. So let's go and see here. Andy says, how much is Pivotal Weather Plus? Sorry if I'm annoying. No, you're good, Andy. Pivotal Weather Plus is $6.99, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's $6.99 per month, which is not that bad, but my thing is just ran out here. Let's go and see here. Weather says, I will see warm cells this spring when I expect it. True. North Carolina, I need to know, please. Well, I see a longer warm spells this spring. Well, okay, so for North Carolina, okay, I'll tell you what we can do for that. We can look at the precipitation anomalies according to your GFS model. That'll kind of show you things. We'll do lower or thermodynamics here. Here we go, 2-meter temperature anomaly. So basically how this works is the red is showing above average temperatures and the blue is showing below average temperatures. So we'll go ahead and track down here in time. So you can kind of see the trends here. Obviously, you can't take this perfectly because models are a bit sketchy as they go out. But, honestly, it's kind of showing a little bit more colder, a little bit more on the colder side for a little bit. It really just depends on the day, but kind of does kind of fade out here. Weather ball is expensive. Andy, yeah, it is. It is expensive. Same as WSV3 radar program I do plan on getting eventually. Like I said, once the channel does get a little bit bigger and once we're able to afford that more, then yeah, we'll. I also do have work, so Monday, like I said, Monday there is a severe weather event. I have work on Monday, so I'm not sure the timing of initiation, but whenever they do pop off, I will be live as soon as I get home. As soon as I get home from work here. Would I rather spend a day at NSSL or spend a day with James Spann? Ooh. I'll have to go with NSSL on that one. That would be pretty cool to be a part of the team during the live action, like on the field, storm chasing. James Spann is more of a, local meteorologist James Spann is really cool. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my, one of my role models here. But they would both be cool. But I would have to go with NSSL, honestly. But then, like I said, going back to my time frame side of things, like I said, we had those tornadoes here, 2011. There goes my camera. But then what happened is as we start to approach 2012, I got my first weather station. And with that, I started getting really interested in the weather. So I started analoging all of the data down by hand, literally recording all of the data by hand of current observations. I mean, I would sit there in front of my weather monitor. As boring as this might sound, I would sit here in front of something like this. This is my new weather monitor, by the way. I have this. Oh, you can't even see that. Yeah, there you go. This is my new weather monitor. I had one a little bit different to it. My first one in 2012. And I would literally just sit there and just look at my weather monitor, pen and paper, tracking down everything. Right, relative humidity, dew points, ambient temperature, wind direction, wind speed, everything like that. Seriously, that's what I went off of. And I remember looking at that and doing analysis. And then once a few years have passed, on and off, depends on the event, I was tracking it somewhat, just meaning by looking at TV, with the news stations like the Weather Channel. But right around 2016, 2017, that's when things started to change for me. That's when I started going to online sources and started learning about meteorology. And then that escalated into now 2022, where I could say I know a decent amount about weather. I guess you could say more than the average folk. I'm sure some of you might agree with that. Some of you also might not. But that's, I've come a long ways here, for sure. Anyways, let's go ahead and move back here. Let's go and see here. Whatever. Okay, I already read that here. Hold says, what's up? What's up, Hold? Andres says, update on severe weather for Dallas-Fort Worth on Sunday. We'll get to that here in a second, Andres. Eddie says, winter was January to February, I swear, here in North Carolina. January was very active across Virginia and North Carolina. Would I rather spend a day chasing with Reed or Hank? Reed Timmer, 100% of the way. Okay, I like Hank, don't get me wrong. He makes some pretty cool videos. But Reed is a classic. He goes way back. Okay? Yeah, I have to go with Reed on that one, for sure. Dominator team. I would love to be with Dominator 2. Dominator 2 team would be pretty neat. For sure. That's what I'm talking about here. Be right back. Andy says... Oh. Okay, Andy says, I'm back here. That wasn't fun. Well, that's not good. Eating corn in a piece went up my nose. That's interesting. That's interesting, Andy. I guess you're safe to say that you're the first person that had corn go up your nose during a NW16 live stream. I'm sure you're the first one that's ever done that. But hey, there you are. There you go. Andy says, I hope everyone has a great night after having corn up. I don't know why that's funny. It's just kind of stupid. But Andy says, I hope everyone has a great night. You too, Andy. Glad to see you here tonight. But like I said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get ready to end the live stream here. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them. We're calling final questions, like I said, guys. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor. Consider hitting that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. You guys are the best here. As well as if you do want to support the channel, guys, we have our link in the description, as well as the chat. If you guys do want to donate, greatly appreciated. Go to a good cause. Help us get better equipment for you guys, including Weather Bell, WSV3 like we were wanting, as well as Pivotal Weather Plus again. Let's go ahead and see here. Matt says, another with a what if here. Would I rather witness an EF5 or Category 5 hurricane? I have to go with Category 5 hurricane. EF5s are interesting. I mean, they're pretty bad, but hurricanes, I feel like they're more cool to be in. I mean, it depends on the location you're at. Because if you get hit by an EF5, you're done pretty much, unless you are underground in a really sturdy shelter. And Category 5, if you're on the coast, it's not good at all. But if you're more inland, it's not as bad. But I have to go with hurricanes, honestly. I would have to go with the hurricane here. Andy says, a tree fell on my house during NW16 live stream. Yeah, it did. I remember that, Andy. That was crazy. That was a pretty crazy. I wish you could have sent the photo. Oh, wait, no, you did. That's right. I forgot you did send a photo to our Twitter. Yeah, it's just been a little bit since I forgot about it. But anyways, guys, yeah, if you have any questions, now is the time to ask them. It is currently 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, we usually end the live stream at 9 o'clock. We've been going on for an extra hour because of the severe weather event that's going on here. Yeah, but that is what we are seeing here. So, guys, once again, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. If you are new to the channel, guys, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. You guys will not miss out on any weather event like this. Like I said, we do pre-event live streams here. Oh, Andreas says, update on the severe weather for Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm sorry, Andrea. I forgot about that. My mind's been all over the place here. So, for Dallas, here we go. Yeah, Dallas is in a marginal risk here for day 3. This is on Sunday. Tornadoes and damaging winds may be a concern here. We'll be able to break this down more for you tomorrow. Andreas. So if you can make it to tomorrow's live stream, Andreas, I'll give you better updates in regard to this. But right now you're in the marginal risk, which is the lowest severe potential. But you're in it, and you should still monitor it. Let's go see. Andy says, will a moderate risk be issued? I doubt it. I doubt a moderate risk will be issued. It's not even enhanced yet. It's still a slight risk. What we're seeing here. Let's go see here. Weather says, could I still see a snow in Courage Truck? Or I'm so bad with names. I'm sorry about that. North Carolina this winter. You know, Virginia and North Carolina, it's not impossible for you to see some more snow. I mean, obviously we still are in winter and it has snowed. But honestly, as the days goes by, the probability just drops further and further. We're already in meteorological spring, which, I mean, you can still have snow in the early portions. I would say it's a low possibility, but it's still theoretically possible. But anyways, guys, like I said, if you have any more questions, throw them down here for you. I'll be here for you all 100% of the way here. So, like I said, we will be live tomorrow, so Saturday, Sunday, as well as Monday. We'll be live all of those days there. And we will give you guys all the latest information here regarding these, these events here, as well as we'll be, we're tracking it live in regard to, what's going on with the radar view and the observations, everything you need to know, guys. We'll be going live for you all. But anyways, guys, I think that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up here for the live stream here. If you are new to the channel, guys, do me a favor, consider hitting that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Seriously means a lot to me. You guys are the best. We're on the road to 600 subscribers. I know we can do it here. And our goal is quite a large goal, but we have a major goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of March. Now, I believe we can do it. I have faith in you guys. You guys are the best. Yeah. Let's go ahead and see here. Matt says, have a good night, guys. Thank you. You're very, very welcome, Matt. Thank you for joining tonight. Rain says bye here. See you later, Rain. Will everyone in the slight risk get a severe storm? Andy, no. If you're in the slight risk, it means that the atmosphere there is potentially favorable for types of the severe weather. Does not mean you'll for sure get a thunderstorm. It just means that overall thunderstorms are expected within that vicinity. But yeah, that's what we're talking about here. But anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and call it a nightly live stream here for tonight. Hope you all have a wonderful day today. And if you don't already, turn on post notifications. It'll give you guys notified for whenever we do go live. We plan on going around, live maybe around 2-3 o'clock Eastern time. It really just depends on when storms start initiating. I might go live before they initiate. We'll just see how things go. I'll keep an eye on models. I'll keep an eye on things. And we'll just see how things go here in regard to that. But like I said, guys, we'll give you more further updates. Like I said, we do have the community chat now. Since we reached 500 subscribers, that automatically gave us community chat. So we will be able to post you guys updates in regard to when we are going live for tomorrow. So latest information will be there for y'all. But anyways, guys, Andy says bye. Anyways, guys, once again, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night here. Hope you guys stay safe. Hope you guys are prepared for the system here. And I will see you guys here in the next one. Thank you all for joining us. Catch you guys here tomorrow.
Z52 at Hancock Broadcasting on channel 6 or 162.525 megahertz. We apologize for this interruption and will have service restored as soon as possible. This is NOAA All Hazards Weather Radio Station WXL 57 at Des Moines, Iowa, transmitting on 162.55 megahertz. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service at Des Moines, Iowa. The current time is 9:04 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for Des Moines and surrounding locations. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers until midnight.